And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of You Get What You Get. I'm Ricky Hampton with my great friends Tim Turner and Tree McDougal. It's a Tuesday evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Can't wait to get the conversation going. We got a lot of good topics tonight, and hopefully, we're going to be joined by a special guest. I'm going to just leave that out there for a moment, and hopefully, we'll be joined by our guest. But in the meantime, welcome, Tree and Tim. First of all, guys, have you all recovered from the grueling weekend at the Peachtree Road Race?
Oh, yeah, I recovered immediately. How about you, Tim?
I was good. I was good that Friday, and then Saturday was a different story. Uh,
Ah,
it had repercussions. That
repercussions.
ibuprofen did not do me well. I needed to hook that up.
Well, I will say, so we're talking about, for people who might be interested, the AJC Peachtree Road Race. And so Tim and I ran in that. And who was the winner, Tim?
I don't know, somebody from Kenya, as always.
Between you and I.
Kenyan woman and a Kenyan man. Between you and I finished before you did. So there's that.
Well,
Wait a
you
minute,
finished because you started.
Right,
Wait,
right, right.
That's
right.
because he started
Right.
way ahead of me. But what was,
That's right.
we're not going to talk about whose time was faster. I
No,
mean, you
we
don't want to talk about that.
faster time. This is semantics. I know I was in the park before you were. No, you had the better time by like 11 minutes. So that means that you were out of sight as far as I was concerned.
See,
Yeah.
see, that's like golf. You're the first group out in the tournament, so you're the first group to finish. You shot 80, but you're the leader in the clubhouse.
Exactly. That's
For
how it
about
worked.
10 minutes.
That's how it worked. When we finished it, we finished our race, we'd won. We were ahead of everybody else. See, I think this is the first year in like 3 years that they didn't make people get off the course for either thunderstorms or excessive heat. So it seemed like it ran pretty smoothly, except to the end where they bowed to the corporate gods for some reason and tried to make it some sort of like post-race festival type thing, and it squoze everybody in these little corrals because you want to pick up that shirt, and it was tight up in there. There were people who were passing out because they were bunched up there more so than they were from the run from Brennan. I know when we were leaving, I saw an ambulance leaving the place where people were getting T-shirts.
Yeah, I saw people in wheelchairs leaving that same area.
Yeah.
I was like, it was different in the
Yeah.
park this year for sure. I think
Yeah.
that, so Ricky, so every year they've had like letters so you could find your family members. And so Reg and I always meet in the M and the O section. This year they had none of that. And so we're just out in this field. We don't know where we are, we couldn't find each other. Cell phones weren't working. And yeah, it was a little bit of a chore to find each other. They did have a missing
So about
persons.
how many people gathering downtown?
Well, there were 55,000 entries. I think only 42 actually ran the race.
Mhm.
I think I saw Tree's finish time, and she was only one of the four of us, me and Annette and Rick. We all had like five-digit starts, 5-digit places in our age group where Tree had a 4-digit. So she was the faster of the group for sure.
Hooray! Yay me! Now, Reg finished before me by a few minutes, but yeah, we don't run together. We just run at our own pace. So, I think the hardest part for me, and I used to be able to run the hills, just like it's so many people when you get to the hills, and they're always packed there, and it's like super hot and humid. So I try to stay to the outside, but yes, that part's pretty rough. And there, like 3 hills.
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
hills. And the
3
hard
hills.
part for me was anytime they had the water station, because people don't like, they just they store their cups right there. So, you're trying not to slip and break your neck,
Yeah.
a Powerade cup.
Is it the same route every year, or do they mix it up a little bit?
Same one.
Same
Same
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
They have
in Detroit, and it's funny, newspapers are always sponsoring these things. The Free Press Detroit Free Press. The Friendly Free Road Race is the big one in Detroit, and thousands of people come out. And it's probably the friendliest day in Detroit.
What's the name of the race and when is it?
That it's in the spring.
Okay.
Is when they have it. But what I was going to get into and ask you, do you guys feel that people are always so friendly and just the mood is always just uplifting? Number one is spring, which in Detroit sometimes don't mean a damn thing because it could be a foot on the ground. But it's always a uplifting, friendly atmosphere. Do you guys note that over the years? Of course, Atlanta is too busy. What's Atlanta, the city, too busy to hate anyway?
That was a long time ago.
Don't stick anyway on there.
Say what, Tim?
He says too busy to hate anyway. I said, no, ain't no anyway. The city too busy to hate. And
you guys don't feel that.
I think people are excited to be part of it, but I don't feel like there's this big, joyous kumbaya type of feeling. I just feel like people are there with their families. It's a tradition. I don't know. What do you think, Tim? I know my sister, who has volunteered since probably 1982 for the race. She super excited and jubilant, and the volunteers are excited. So I can't speak for all the runners, but we look forward to it every year. This is our 14th year. So, Yeah. How about you, Tim? What's your take?
This is the 6th year for me, and for the most part, it is a big party. People are really excited to be out there, and it was going to go off without incident until right before we reached the arc where they take all the photos.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept hearing this woman screaming and yelling these things. And long story short, evidently it was a MAGAite. There was a one woman, a blonde-haired woman who had a Palestinian flag tucked into her bun, and she was running, and the MAGAite was screaming at her about America. This is America. You don't do that here in America, that kind of thing. And then she yelled at the woman. He's like, do you have any idea what they do to women over there? And I said, I was thinking to myself, I said, somebody should have screamed back, do you have any idea what your president does to women over here?
That would have been the perfect.
Yeah, but I was like, no, you don't want to do, because people are already around this woman telling her to shut up, let the women run, because she wasn't saying anything. She was just running with the flag in her head. There are a lot of people that are running with American flags, and supposedly you get to voice your opinion and do whatever you want to do in this country, even on the 4th of July.
Yeah, there are a lot of people in costumes. I saw Santa Claus in a Speedo. People dress up for it a lot.
Well, the Statue of Liberty in a dress, in a long gown running. So that was beautiful.
That is kind of what I was trying to speak to earlier. You see a lot of the characters come out, and everybody's having a good time. I hadn't seen Santa Claus in a Speedo, though.
He was with a couple that looked like they were. Looks like the woman was a bride, so I don't know if they were getting married or something to do with the wedding.
Does any one of the local channels networks
from start to finish.
Channel 2, WSB, the big dog here in town. They had a copter flying over the course and doing like a play-by-play for the thing.
Yeah.
There was one, you see these T-shirts, like this one dude, that was his 47th road race, Peachtree Road Race.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
now, why do the Kenyans dominate?
They're good.
They
train. They're good. They train. They're just fast.
I think when you're being chased by zebras and lions.
I'm sorry I asked that question.
Yeah, I was trying to not. Yeah.
With all manner of wildlife is chasing you when you're running with nobody chasing you but people. It's the easiest.
Well, I'm going to say, if you're running from the cops, Tim, shouldn't you be faster?
That's true. But see, since they were to the side, That wasn't the problem. No, really, I don't know what it is. Like, people were trying to say this the altitude that they train in. I have no idea, but a Kenyan man and a Kenyan woman won, and they're generally a better distance runners. And I forget, the people try to find the psychology behind it. They're just great athletes. Period.
Well, these two winners for this year, it was their first time winning. Sometimes they have repeat winners, but I mean, they are just great runners for that. That's probably easy distance for them, 6 miles, right?
6 miles.
So I mean, when they always dominate.
That would be a layup for them, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Because even in the Olympics, who's up front, any kind of road race, you're going to pretty much find somebody from that region, and it's astounding that you find it every year, And these are the
Tim,
people who are
keep training. Keep training. You can do it, Tim. You can do it.
Keep training. You will not have my name. See, those are serious runners. The people up front have their names on their bibs.
But they also win money. So there's that. That's a prize.
I'll still have an H or a Z or something on mine with the number. Those people, because it's like, I think by the time we hit the 4 mile mark, you start seeing the real runners walking back with the T-shirts in hand. You know what the T-shirt's going to look like at mile, you got 2.6 miles to go, because those folks are finished and on their way back to the start.
They usually finish about 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It's just hella fast.
I think the person won in 21 or 22 minutes this year. Yeah.
I don't see how that's even possible.
My little pitiful hour and 30 minutes.
Well, let's move on.
Yes, let's.
Hey, we're in July. Training camp is opening up. Just a few weeks. We're gonna have pro football back, but football was sort of in the news the other day. The current president, who was a convict, by the way, just stating the fact, said he would not have changed the name of the Washington Commanders from the Washington Redskins. And I was thinking, of course he wouldn't, being that he is a racist. I mean, why would he find that insensitive?
You're next, Cleveland. People, they look and say, what's up with the Braves? It's like, the Braves are not a people. Braves are a position. The Chiefs are a position. Redskins, offensive. I don't know about the that's offensive. Then maybe you have to go up to the Blackhawks in Chicago and the Seminoles in Florida, speaking of different tribes, that kind of thing. You'll see here. This is from their I think Super Bowl season. There's Joe Gibbs, and you look at those helmets. There you go.
Yeah. Watch hell to the Redskins. Yeah. Do you know who that team beat to get to the Super Bowl?
The Detroit Lions. There we go. Is that Eric Kramer getting crushed? Oh, there's Chris Miller for the Falcons. That's the 2 legit to quit uniforms.
That was a good team in 91 too, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Washington was just a dominant team.
This looks like it might be an interception. They're showing it for. There we go. Wilbur Marshall. Yeah. Yeah, but those were the days. That people still hold on to the Redskins. I still call them that. Just like I say, Oakland Raiders. You gotta give up and go forward.
Hell to the Raiders. Those are the Hogs.
Yes, the Hogs.
Yeah, a great tradition they had there. But the current guy, he just, he has his MAGA thing going, and I don't know when this place was supposed to be the great place that he continues to speak of. But anytime you can find something contrarian, because I understand there's talk for the 250th celebration at the White House.
there will be a WWE match.
Sure, why
I
not?
don't see
Are you
how that
serious?
dovetails. Yes, I said. I don't see how in the world that dovetails into anything historic. But you know, it's
It's a moneymaker, perhaps. Other than that, yeah.
maybe a
I got nothing.
moneymaker.
I got nothing to add to that.
That's just to
Well,
me.
you
That's
know,
beyond.
he has a lot of disdain for the NFL anyway because he tried to uh, buy the Buffalo Bills back in the day. I
Right.
think it was the '90s, and when they looked at his portfolio, they're like, "Dude, you don't belong in this club with us."
They
You
know
ain't,
he has no money. They're not playing.
they knew,
What you got to come here with?
they knew. Although most of the NFL owners now are kowtowing to him, just like practically
The entire
everyone else.
media.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
Because you got ABC and CBS both making some really poor choices. Terry Moran is gone at it's ABC, and then the 16 million settlement for 60 Minutes.
yeah.
People who were
Yeah,
let go from
60
MSNBC.
yes, MSNBC. Yeah,
Come on, man.
it's painful. It's painful to watch. But so that's a tangential sports culture story because it's still offensive to have that to use those names in a big way. The Cleveland people still, Cleveland Guardians, the Indians. That's just wrong. It has been wrong. And that smiling Chief Wahoo that they had out there, totally wrong. It's like blackface.
But the thing about in Cleveland, their fans there, man, they moved on from that. They love their team. They always got a really good team, and they get behind their team. Of course, there are always a few, but I see a lot of their games, and they got their Guardians gear on when they come up to Detroit. These, I would say 90% of the Cleveland people I see are wearing Guardians gear. So, hey.
What if they equated to like when you have your franchise moves? I keep thinking about when the Browns left for Baltimore. You just you're changing the mascot as opposed to the team per se.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's hard to get behind that.
yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
still want to stay in the football vein. You probably can start talking about college football and what's about to happen with that. And
Yes.
this is the dog days of sports writing. It's nothing happening, so you got to start doing all these takeout pieces and all these things to create debate. And then what is it? The Athletic ran a list of top 20 rivalries.
Media days coming up soon too, though. Right?
Oh yeah, this month media days are coming up. Getting folks ready for football, college football. And Rick, what was it? The top 20?
Yeah, I got that. I want to put that up right now.
20 or 25, top 25
major
rivals.
college rivalries.
I want to get this. It's a really interesting list, and a lot of good ones on there. Let me see if I can find it.
I will say that I think Savannah State University and Morehouse should be on that list, and I was a little bit disappointed
Aren't we all?
that we didn't make the list, Tim.
No, we did not make the list.
Here we
That's
go.
disappointing right there.
Yeah, that. But no, I think Treat you on to something. This is from the Athletic Scott Document. When I see this, I wonder who his editor is. Tim can probably speak to that as a former editor. I wonder how young he is. I'm sure he
got to be really young if he thinks that Penn State and Ohio State's a rivalry. Yeah. That's nothing. There's no rivalry there at all.
No. That's a very bad one. No way that's above Florida State, or Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia and Florida 12.
Was it ranked by Is that a
Yeah.
ranking or is that just a list of rivalries?
That's
That's
their listing of rivalries, which is it's a fraud.
You know, Michigan, Ohio State, Auburn, Alabama, I think they kind of stand alone, and you can make the argument for Auburn, Alabama as the greatest. I probably would, being the Southerner that I am. But those are two just great rivalries. But man, Georgia, Florida, 12.
That's people who don't appreciate the SEC. This is obviously a Big Ten person with all these.
But then Georgia's in there twice. Are other schools in there twice or more than once?
Michigan is in there 3 times. Alabama's in there 3 times.
But the great rivalries are, you know, the SEC, man. Alabama, LSU, 13.
I think I would rank that above.
I get it. You can't put all of them, you know.
Well, I think that they should say, well, maybe it's historic, but they should have teams that are good. Both teams are good. They should be ranked above the hammer and nail rivalries right now, because Auburn is not anywhere near as quality as Alabama. You know, so that's a tough one. If it's like equal strength, maybe Alabama, LSU, equal strength. Texas Tech, equal strength. Harvard, Yale, equal strength. Pocket protectors abound.
I didn't.
Ole Miss.
Again, is this a ranking or it's just it's just a list of teams?
It's a list.
His top 25 list. I bet that there's nothing.
Did it say top 25? Scroll back up to the top, please.
Okay. Can you see it from the top?
Yeah. No,
I cannot see it.
Top 5.
Can you see it now?
No.
I cannot. Let me look.
Okay, let me keep working with it.
Well, that says ranking the top rivalry. So I might not see it there, but I have it here pulled up on my phone, and it says ranking the top CFB rivalries.
He doesn't have any way of saying how they're ranked.
In Scott's mind. Yeah, Scott's ranking.
I'm going to put it back up there so I can get the top back on there. I'm going to put it back up on there.
So who would you put? How would you rank the teams?
I would Trey?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably have
do top 5 then.
Now, can you see it better now?
Mm-hmm.
Top 18, yes. Good enough.
Not all of it. We see top 8. We see the 1 through 18.
Okay, because you want top 5.
Yeah, who would you have for your top 5?
I would probably right now Michigan and Ohio State is a better game because the programs are stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I'd probably go with Auburn, Alabama, because that's what I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michigan, Ohio State, which I've seen a lot of. Georgia, Florida is in my top 5 for sure. Alabama, Tennessee, I'm my Southern roots are coming in here.
Yes.
Obviously.
All right. How about you, Tim? What would be your top 5?
I give Auburn, Alabama number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma, Texas will probably be 2 because they're just every year it's a dogfight. Georgia, Florida 3. Washington and Oregon 4.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio
State way down my list. Go ahead, Tim.
And I would say SC Notre Dame, but SC hasn't been any good in a while. So maybe it'll be Florida.
We're looking at it. We're looking at it over the. If you're looking at it at a historical context, right? You know what I'm saying?
Just Texas A&M, Texas, Oklahoma are 2. Alabama, Auburn, Michigan, Ohio State. That's 4. I got to find a 5th one. That
Did you
would
say
be
Georgia, Florida?
Florida State's a good one.
But see, Florida State's been so trashed the last few years that
But
doesn't it
historical
doesn't hold up.
That's still a good rivalry.
I mean, what we're really seeing, guys, is how great college football is.
And it's
Right.
going to change from year to year as it is now with NIL and just straight up transferring. People don't want to wait their turn. They want to get up there and play now, start now, or they're not going to get enough run. I think that's unfortunate for some of these programs.
It is unfortunate,
Because
but good for kids. For the
there's a
players,
kid that went. I think he's at Rutgers now. He turned down, I think, Miami for Rutgers, and I think he got, if I'm not hearing wrong, he got a 3-year, $5 million deal to go to play football at Rutgers.
Wow.
Don't you go to school to get an education?
Rutgers now, right?
Say that again. You go to school for what?
To get an education?
No.
So you can make money?
And they're making money.
But
They're going to school to play football. Some are going for education, I would think, but some are going to play football so they can hopefully get to the NFL or whatever sport they are.
True. You're right, but it's so sideways now. Everybody's not going to go to the league. So some of these cats who know that they're going to peak in college should try to get all the money they can right now, to fund whatever is going to happen post college football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Multi-million-dollar deals for these kids.
I mean, would you not have gone for that back in the day?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would have learned to play some sport if I thought I could have back in the day.
It's the same for these teams that have reputations. Like I can imagine Georgia gymnastics, LSU gymnastics, UCLA gymnastics. They are making big money. LSU track, Texas track, places like that where you're known, your programs are known. Baseball, LSU baseball. These places that you're gonna get, those kids are gonna get paid. There is no amateurism.
Nope.
Hunter Dickinson. You talk about guys who stick around. The 7-foot center played at Michigan. He a good college player. Played at Kansas, and I think Dickinson is going to make about $6 million over the course of his college career. He was smart enough to know he played 5 years. I think he had the COVID. He got it to take
COVID year,
and he milked that. He knew he wasn't an NBA player. He might be on somebody's summer league roster or something, but he'll probably have to go overseas. But that dude stayed, and I'm gonna make as much money as I can in college right now.
Which is smart.
That was like
these kids need to learn finance in a big way.
Not a bad gig if you can get it, right?
Yeah. So I don't fault them at all. So these rivalries, the strength of those rivalries will be who can keep their teams intact. Who might get people picked off. I mean, I think was the quarterback for Texas last year. He was at Ohio State as a backup, or played some at Ohio State, then lost his job. I mean, those type of things right there are going to happen all the time now. You see when these these NBA drafts or NFL drafts, they'll list 2 schools for these kids, 2 and 3 schools. And that's the new normal now.
Which brings to mind the phrase, these hoes ain't loyal, right?
No, they're not.
That's just going for the money.
The kid in Tennessee, Nico, he left to go to UCLA. It was strictly
a financial consideration.
Yeah.
And you think about it, some of them might need to do things to take care of family members.
But I have no problem with the tree as a college football fan. The sad thing about it, we just talked about some of these rivalries, the business part of it is eating away at some of that. Uh, you know, we talked several times about the Big Ten, UCLA and USC in the Big Ten. I mean, it just ain't right, Tim.
It's not.
Just ain't right.
I was trying to figure. It was a thing that ran in the Sunday paper here in Atlanta. They showed all these major conferences and what they were like in 2000, how many teams they had, and what they have now. Like the SEC had something like, I don't know, 10 teams, maybe in 2000. Now they have 18 teams. The Big Ten has 16 teams. It was called the Big Ten because how many schools were there at one time?
It was 10.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same with the Big 12. No. These people, these are all misnomers now. They're just lying.
So it's like the Big 12 plus some other people.
Yeah, that's it.
The Pac-12.
Or some hanger honors or something.
Yeah, they showed the graphic I thought was hilarious where they showed the Pac-8, and then they showed where it went down to 2. And now they got a full boat of schools, like it's like 8 or 9 now. But to see a conference that only had 2 people, I think it was Oregon State and Washington State were the only 2 teams left in the Pac-2, the Tupac.
Tupac.
Yeah. Hey, I want to get to this. They named the All-Star team. I'm excited to talk baseball this year.
I'll see myself out then.
Normally I'm like, let's get out of here. Hey, but before I do, a viewer's note out there. Have you ever watched the Netflix series, The Quarterback?
I have not.
It is really interesting, and all you Falcon fans out there,
don't start with Kirk Cousins stuff.
I tell you what, watch it, Tim. I think you have a greater appreciation for him.
For him,
the person. I mean,
okay, the person has nothing to do with losing 3 games down the stretch. The person lied when his arm was hurt, and we lost 3 games that Michael Penix would have won because he could throw it, but more than 3 feet. So I have zero love for Kirk Cousins. Zero.
I'm not sure how you feel about it.
I encourage you guys to watch it because it goes in depth. They feature Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, and Burrows from what's Burrows?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, but what's his first name?
Joe
Burrow from first name. And it talks about the exhaustive preparation. Some of the segment, it gets into everything that they go into doing a game week. And I remember our friend Joe 747 Adams played at Tennessee State and spent some time with the 49ers in the 70s and early 80s, talked about he felt like he was in a master's class. So now, if that was a master's class, these quarterback playbooks now would be PhD level. And the crazy thing about it, Tree, and this is why they get their money, part of it, you got about 20 seconds to decipher all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, very interesting. And where's the first place a quarterback looks when he gets to the line of scrimmage?
It's center's rear end.
This dude here, man. This dude
here.
I tell you, Mr. Collin, you find the safeties. You know that, too.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You find the safeties. And it's this big thing going on. Well, anyway, I want to mention that. And for all you Kirk Cousins fans out there, all 12 of you.
But not Tim.
I think the Cousins fan club is in his home after what he did to us this year. That was just wrong. Wrongity, wrong.
Actually, the game they feature is when he lit up Tampa Bay.
Okay. That was when his arm was not hurt. He got hurt against New Orleans about 3 games later, and did not reveal the injury or something to that effect. That people knew he couldn't throw from here to the tops of his shoes without his arm being hurt. So, and we lost. We could have made the playoffs.
Was this the client worse than Ryan's?
Pardon me.
Was this
no. Ryan's really didn't have a drop off. He didn't really. I mean, he was for what it's worth a very serviceable quarterback still. It's just that they tried to get younger real quick, and they got beat down when they tried to get Deshaun Watson, and then Ryan said, like, I'm out. That kind of thing.
Well, luckily they didn't get Watson, huh? Yeah, that would not have worked out well.
No, it wouldn't. Just like it hasn't worked out well for Cleveland.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Well, Tree, I'm sorry. We'll go quickly through the Major League All-Star roster.
No. Let's do it.
Any snubs for you, Tim?
Not so much a snub that a happy coincidence that it didn't happen. I'm not a Mets fan by any stretch of the imagination, so it didn't hurt my heart that Juan Soto didn't make it. Although he did get hot at the right time, and he should be there. Maybe there's an injury that's coming up. I know that there are at least three or four players who are injured or will pitch in the next couple of days that will not be able to be on the team. Like Chris Sale of the Braves, he's had a great first half, but he's on the injured list. He's on the 60-day DL, so he's not going to play in the All-Star game. So
he's on the what? I'm sorry. Say that again. He's on the what?
60-day injury list. Okay. He used to have a disabled list, but it's an injury list.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on the 60 days, so that means he's going to be out for a while. He won't be able to make it next Tuesday night. The festivities start here on Friday with the 50 of the best HBCU baseball players playing at Truist Park.
All right, that's right. Weren't you supposed to be getting me tickets or something?
You know what? What had happened was the ticket prices went up. Because I really wanted to go to the Home Run Derby on Monday night, but I think they're like $230 to go to the Home Run Derby.
Hey, how is Freddie Freeman going to be welcome back home?
They love him here. And it's like people really now at this point where he's been gone a couple of years, it's like, okay, he don't play for us anymore. Stop all the crying and the Freddie chants. He's a Dodger now.
But it'd be like, welcome back, Mr. Carter.
Well, it is like that. They love him. They still remember him as a great guy, but the deal is this. If he wanted to be here, he'd be here. He got bad advice from his agent, and he's gone. Later.
All right.
He's an outstanding ball player and a really better person, a really good guy. But, when business gets in the way, it messes things up.
Clayton Kershaw is a
legend pick. You see what that is?
Yeah.
How many people do you know just get picked on the team because you've been in the league forever today? Granted, you just got 3,000 strikeouts, which is an incredible milestone. But
which player are you talking about? I'm trying to follow up with this.
Ricky's doing the dance. Stop the movement.
Who were you just talking about? I get lost.
He is right here.
Clayton Kershaw, legend pick.
Okay, thank you. Legend pick. Okay, I see it now.
Clayton Kershaw.
And so you'll see Chris Sale down there for Atlanta. He's injured. He won't participate. He won't play. He'll show up, but he won't play.
Thank you for the explanation.
But I look at Kershaw. He has been hurt so much.
Right.
I mean, you wonder what he would have done if he'd have stayed healthy. He was won 200 games, man.
Yeah, but as he gets older, he breaks down. And you look at these, the National League starters are just a great team. It's like there's only one player. Okay, Ronald Acuna made the All-Star team and did not play 50 games or something to that effect. And they said there's only one other player that's ever done that, and that was Ted Williams, because I think he's in the war or something. I think that's what the deal was. But that's a rare company where you don't play a lot of games, but you gain that kind of respect. And I
Yeah.
don't think didn't hurt him that the game is in Atlanta.
He's a great player.
Yeah, there are 3 Braves that are all-stars, and Acuna deserved it, and the only guy that's hitting on the team, Matt Olson, he also deserved it. So you get excited about that.
We have
Just to
3
be
up
clear,
here.
just to be clear, we have no tickets.
That's we are clear on that.
Okay.
Yes, as of yet.
I can, I can cancel my reservation, hotel reservation.
You can be straight. The thing about it with this All-Star thing, I mean, the celebrities softball game, normally has like it's littered with stars and stuff, but
It's Atlanta, so what? A bunch of rappers?
Essentially, yes.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not like they're a bunch of stars. But I think the biggest star, 2 stars, L. Duncan, ESPN, and the Capital One guy. So
okay.
In the Celebrity All-Star game?
Celebrity softball game, yes.
The Capital One, the one that sleeps at the bank?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. So when we're talking about celebrities, there aren't a whole lot. I was surprised because this town, there are movies being shot all over the place.
Yeah.
Here. I mean, what's that?
CI? No.
Tulsa King's being shot here. Sly Stallone is somewhere in Atlanta.
I didn't come here for that. I came here to shoot the movie. I didn't come here for all that. I came here to shoot the movie and get the heck out.
Sly is here in town. Come on, man.
They didn't get Tyler Perry.
Well, that's true. Now, he'd be a great first baseman.
T.I.
I think it shows, though, that we have lost some of the interest in the Black community in this game.
But this could bring it back. Yeah. It could. Tim, suit up.
But I'm trying to think.
Come on down.
The roster. Do we have anybody? I'm looking at the American and National League roster.
Well, Riley Green.
American born?
Yes, from a mixed race family.
Okay.
Yeah, Riley Green for the Tigers.
Okay.
Everybody else is pretty much Hispanic, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
From the Caribbean. There aren't too many American-born Black All-Stars anymore. Like they used to be back in the day. You'll see a picture of like Hank Aaron talking with Frank Robinson, talking with Bob.
Crazy though. And this game is paying so well.
Well, absolutely.
And we can play this game so good. Gives it an opportunity.
I think you guys should start a nonprofit or some type of league.
Well, they have the RVI program.
Yeah, you guys should
start. I was going to ask.
We should start something.
I was going to ask. You got the HBCU All-Star. How many of those kids going to be Black players?
I would hazard a guess that most of the kids will be Hispanic. Yeah. I know when I was in covering the SWAC, the Texas Southern and Prairie View teams are made up of mostly Hispanic kids. And which is nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, but you're saying that these different sports, just like the golf teams are predominantly white at the schools, HBCUs. You recruit the best athletes. You don't get up there and discriminate by race on whatever the sports it is. The bowling, I think North Carolina A&T's women won the bowling championship, I think, or something to that effect. It was white women on the bowling squad.
Yeah.
So you go where the athletes go. You pick kids who can play. You don't discriminate. That's one thing that's really great about sports. It's fair like that. If you're good, they'll find you and they'll sign you and you'll play.
Totally agree with that. Hey, we got a few more minutes. Hey, let's talk a little bit. We got the Summer League. Cooper Flagg is making his debut on Friday. That's where everybody is interested to see what happens. He's going to be out in Vegas, and hopefully we'll get our friend Kim Davis in at some point to talk about what Houston is doing. Houston's trying to steal the NBA title from the Hawks. Tim, you kept saying you were planning a parade.
Houston can do what they want to try to do. They think they got a roster. I got 2 words for them. Trae Young. Thank you. I'm talking this noise now, but Trae has yet to sign his extension. He may not even be around. So Houston has done a great job of building a quality squad. I mean, they didn't stop with Kevin Durant. They picked up a lot of quality players.
Yeah, I think I got it.
I think Denver also made a lot of moves.
Can you imagine this guy? He is one of the best just scorers this game has ever seen. And he's adding to that roster. Even I think he's going to be 37 next year.
Right. Well, he's always looked 37.
Yeah, he really has.
I know this is the real one. So, it's like when Greg Oden came out, the oldest 21-year-old ever.
So I know they have to be excited in Houston. I was surprised that they extended Jabari Smith. They gave him a 5-year, $122 million contract. And I'm assuming he's going to play the same position as Durant. But maybe they're just you just hold on for a couple of years and get better and let this guy do his thing. And he's just drop you right in.
There's no slowing down with him. He has been outstanding throughout the entirety of his career.
Yeah. And
people, they talk about him not being really a winner type thing. It's, you can't win by yourself. He won in Golden State. Okay. And, he and Booker and I think who's the third person? Aiden? Whoever the big three in Phoenix were, they never
Bradley Beal
played together. Pardon me?
Bradley Beal was the other guy.
For Beal, yeah.
But they would never. Yeah.
Bill, Booker, and Durant, they never. Somebody was always hurt. Yeah. So it's not so much a failed experiment. It's just that it didn't work out.
Yeah. And guys, we're looking at why we don't have anybody playing baseball too. One of the reasons
we don't have what? I'm sorry.
We're looking at one of the reasons why we don't have a lot of blacks playing baseball now.
Right here.
Because they're all shooting jumpers in the NBA.
Well, we've talked about that in the past, and how expensive baseball is, right? So
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But then baseball has a better chance for the little guy. I think about
absolutely. Yeah. And that's guaranteed contracts, right?
Yes.
So they're not thinking about that. They don't see that or
no baseball contract there's no contract like a baseball contract.
Well, I think isn't every sports contract guaranteed except for football?
Yeah.
And I wonder what that's about. Is it this incentivizes you to play hard every week?
Kirk Cousins got his deal guaranteed when he was in Minnesota. One of the few. And the owners went crazy because they did that. And the guy, we just talked about him earlier, in Deshaun Watson's contract.
Yes. And that's a big albatross around the neck of the Browns. They just got bad management, man.
So, there's a good reason for that.
Because their teams that just do well. They don't hamstring themselves with bad contracts with bad people. I think about the run that New England had for a while. It just seemed like they were a machine. You never heard anything about any kind of discord at all there. Whereas, you got another team that just is running like a top but never wins anything, and that's out there in Dallas. But as long as you have right now the most expensive sports franchise out there, I think that's what they are, excluding some of these soccer clubs in England.
Mm.
The Cowboys?
I think Jerry bought the Cowboys for $150 million or something like that, and it's worth several $1 billion right now.
That's nuts, isn't it? Yeah.
It absolutely is. It makes sense. It's just they got a really good branding. They've got that
cheerleaders.
Pardon me?
And they got cheerleaders.
Yeah, cheerleaders had a TV show. you know, when your cheerleaders warrant making a movie of the week, you know your brand is solid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when they were winners. Yeah,
Man, that's
back
that's
in the day.
that's going back. That's
Back in
Troy.
the day.
That's Troy Aikman's work. He's been out the league for several years. He's in the Hall of Fame now, so we don't have to go back that far. But yeah, camps open up in like about 2 weeks, and I think what are there 3 preseason games, and then you're off to the races. So
Well, going back to the Cowboys and just the aura they get, no, the media love they get. How many shots a game do you think we get of Jerry Jones at a Cowboys game?
more than anybody else, you get a picture of him or having him hand his glasses to his son to have him clean them off, which I thought was hilarious. Like,
I miss that.
they're in your hand. Clean them off yourself.
He gets
Maybe he
more
didn't have anything to clean them with. I don't know.
He gets
I
more
missed that video.
than anybody. That's why you remember they had to talk about Dion going to Dallas.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jerry's not gonna let anybody take the spotlight from him, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's the only owner that does well. He does a radio show, and he does interviews after the game, and hey,
Right.
and that's maybe why everybody follows him. I don't know, but it ain't winning him no titles.
No.
And until he realizes that, until he realizes he needs to step out the way, they're going to still be losers.
Yeah. So, well, we're heading down the home stretch. Our guest was not able to make it. Maybe we could get her back next week. Any final thoughts? We covered just about everything.
Therese sent something out this past week, and I saw the photo beforehand, but I didn't explore it. But the NHL draft was last Friday, I believe, or Friday before last, and there were a number of brothers who were there in the first round drafted in the NHL draft, which kind of blows you away to see that because you still look at that side as uncharted territory. Although there have been some successes there.
It's like 10, right? Or something. Was it like 10 or so?
Yeah.
That was the most ever.
In the first round, three?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you
Well,
for the reminder.
Western Michigan won the Frozen Four, the NCAA title, and they were just honored at the game tonight. And I noticed a couple of brothers on that team when they introduced them. So, hey, now in Detroit, you do get some brothers that play. This has been such a tremendous hockey town here.
You have one on the Red Wings?
Huh? Yeah, the Red Wings have had a couple over the years. Not recently though, I don't think. They're the worst franchise in town now.
Mm.
And they used to be kings of Detroit.
They were the standard there.
Yeah, they were always in the Stanley Cup finals.
Yeah.
And they was that with Eiserman's squad and those type of folks?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, Eiserman's running things now, so
what happened?
that's what he would like to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
what
interesting. And Tree also mentioned Wimbledon,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to be honest, I stopped watching it when Coco Gauff got beat.
Mm.
I'd say I lost interest in it. Just
Then not a true tennis fan, then, huh?
that's it. Well,
you can root for Shelton.
I'm a bigger fan of women's tennis than I am the men.
Yeah, I am too. I did watch some women's match.
Yeah.
Part of them, yeah. But once I sit down to watch it, then I'm into it. But I don't necessarily seek it out.
Yeah.
But I used to, yeah. I don't know.
So, well, good luck to whomever's in the final.
Whomever.
Yeah, it was, a year ago this time, I was at Wimbledon. I was out there sitting out on the hill for the Djokovic and Alcaraz match.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that was an experience to be out there with
Well,
your brothers.
That's what I was watching this weekend, Alcaraz.
I do like that dude. After he won the French Open,
Hmm.
he went and gathered all the ball boys around. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, he took a picture with him.
And dove in, and they just jumped around. And
Yeah,
yeah, man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was a fan. Became a fan.
Hmm. Well, I'm a fan of you guys.
Well, we appreciate that, Tree. I know
Otherwise,
I certainly appreciate it anyway.
why are you shaking your head, Timothy?
I did shake my head. I
You were like down into you're like,
was agreeing. Yes.
I take it back. I'm a fan of Ricky's. How about that? Does that make you feel better?
Appreciate you. Well, let's end this thing tonight. Unless anybody got anything else, like Tim said, training camps around the corner, the NFL, that will get us going. But I guess until next week, for Tree McDougal and Tim Turner, I'm Rick Hampton.
All
Peace.
right. Please be kind, everybody.